Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the mess. Let me tell y'all something. I've been in my apartment for a few years now, and one of my neighbors who had 3 dogs, they moved away. Thank God. For those who don't know, I hate dogs. Okay, I don't hate dogs, but it's somewhat of like a scare, just a little, just a little, I'm just not a big fan of dogs. It's not necessarily a hate. I think fear of dogs um, sometimes translates to hate, but it's not hate, it's just a fear of dogs. Um, anyway, so one of my neighbors moved away, thank God. And I don't know why I jumped for joy too fast. When I tell y'all, so I passed by one of my neighbors' apartment the other day, and I saw a box from Chewy. I said, "Oh my God, they just moved in." I said, "Oh my God," and it's right by my apartment. So, like, if I have to walk by their apartment to get to mine, baby, that's not even a kicker, baby. So I'm coming home. I'm pumping it around the corner. I hear the elevator door. I hear the ding, so I know the elevator is about to stop. That's ahead of me. I'm like around the corner, but I can hear it. And all of a sudden, I saw this dog, baby, pump on out the elevator, and the owner. I am not exaggerating. Sometimes I put a little sauce. Shout out to Giselle and Ashley. Sometimes I put a little sauce on it. When I tell y'all, this was the biggest dog I have ever seen in my entire life. Okay, now see, I just did exactly what I said I wasn't gonna do. Okay, I put a little sauce on it. It wasn't the biggest dog I've ever seen in my life, but babe, when I tell y'all, this dog was humongous. I'm gonna try to find a picture. You know those dogs that are so big that when they run full speed, it looks like they're running in slow motion. I can't explain it. I cannot explain it. Just those big, hairy, furry dogs. Just a big dog. Like that dog got to be every bit of 313 pounds. Like just a big dog. Like a big dog. And when I tell you, I literally almost just dropped everything in my hand because I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God, please, please, please don't come in my direction. And thank God they went the way that I was going. So basically they were in front of me. And all I could think about, this is no shade, because my sister has 2 dogs, but their dogs are small. All I could think about, because girl, our apartment is not that big. Okay, they have 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms over here. That's it, and studios. Girl, all I could think about was that small apartment and girl, that big, big, humongous dog. And then the owner, girl, you don't know the owner. The owner was a black lesbian. Well, I assume she was a lesbian. She was like she about 6 feet tall, big girl, big, a big nigga. Okay, she was a big nigga, baby. A stud, basketball shorts, t-shirt, locks, socks and sandals. You know some of the shout out to the studs. No hate, no hate. Those are my sisters. Those are my sister brothers. Okay. Shout out to the studs. But yeah, I was like, oh my God. And then I saw them again the day before yesterday. I was coming out of my apartment. They were walking by. And right when I opened my apartment, well, they were not okay. They were not walking by my apartment, but they were already past my apartment. Thank God, because if I would have opened up that door and that dog would have been, girl, can you imagine me opening up that door and that that dog walking right by? Girl, I would have had a fit. just queened out. I cannot wait to. I just, you know what it is too. I want to buy me a house like in 5 years. I don't know, somebody said 5 years. I don't know. I don't want a house. I don't. I do, but I don't. But I do, but I don't. Because I just think about if I had a house with a fence, I would not have to worry about dogs anymore. You know what I'm saying? I could just go outside, get in my car, go on by my business. I ain't gotta ever worry about walking by nobody's apartment. Anyways, so yeah, that's what's going on over here. I thought I escaped the three dogs that my neighbor had, but I have a new neighbor with one dog, and I think she's new too because I ain't never seen her before. For the most part, I pretty much know. I'm not gonna say I know the people, but I've seen the faces that live on my floor. So when I see a new face, I'm like, "Okay, you must have just moved over here because I pretty much know the faces on this floor." I've been over here since like 2020, I believe. I think it was 2020 when I moved over here, and it's 2025. Anyways, so that's all I wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and get into the mess. So Jimmy Kimmel, shout out to Jimmy Kimmel, baby. So Jimmy Kimmel returned last night. This is according to the Hollywood Reporter.com. Jimmy Kimmel Live draws record ratings in return from suspension. More than 6 million viewers tuned in for the late night host first show back, which wasn't available in 23% of the country due to affiliate blackouts. Girl, to not be available in 23% of the country and you still draw in over 6 million viewers. I know your president was evil when he found this out. I know he was. Um, so the return of Jimmy Kimmel Live from an ABC imposed suspension drew a big audience Tuesday night, the show's largest ever for a regular episode. Despite not airing in about 23% of the country's TV homes due to blackouts at 66 ABC affiliates owned by Nexstar and Sinclair, Tuesday's episode drew 6.26 million viewers based on preliminary Nielsen figures. That's the largest tune-in. Um, and Jimmy Kimmel's Live 22-year history, and more than 3 times higher than the show's average for the second quarter of 2025, before Kimmel's annual summer break when guest hosts fill in for him. Tuesday's installment also drew a 0.87 rating among adults 18 to 49, equivalent to about 1.18 million viewers in the age group, its best mark for a regularly scheduled episode in more than a decade since March 2015. The Nelson numbers do not include the big data component of the rating services measurement that went into effect this month. Those figures will be available in a couple of days. From April to June, which included the first week of Kimmel's summer break, Jimmy Kimmel Live averaged 1.77 million viewers over 7 days of viewing, not including streaming, including the Nexstar and Sinclair stations that are now holding back the show. ABC also posted the first 28 minutes on Tuesday's show to YouTube shortly after they aired. As of publication time, the video had surpassed 15 million views. YouTube counts 30 seconds of 30 seconds of or more of a video playing as a view, a record for Kimmel monologue, including other social media platforms. AB says the monologue has gathered 26 million views so far. In an 18-minute monologue that opened Tuesday's show, Kimmel was contrite about the remarks about conservative activist Chucky Kirk's killer that got gun, baby, that got him suspended. It was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't think there's anything funny about it, he said in part, and expressed gratitude for the groundswell of support from across the political spectrum for his right to speak on the show without the threat of government interference. He also called threats from Federal Communications Commission head Brandon Carr to investigate stations airing the show un-American and had harsh words for President Donald Trump, who has frequently said he would like to see Kimmel's show off of the air. The president made it very clear he wants to see me and the hundreds of people who work here get fired. Our leader celebrates Americans losing their livelihood because he can't take a joke. He was somehow able to squeeze Stephen Colbert out of CBS and then turned his sights on me, and now he's openly rooting for NBC to fire Jimmy Fallon and Seth Meyers and hundreds of Americans who work for their shows who don't make millions of dollars. I hope that if it happens, I hope that if that happens, or if there's even a hint of it happening, you'll be as 10 times as loud as you were this week. Let me just say, and that's the thing, right? I watched the monologue. It was good. He did what I was not expecting Jimmy Kimmel to get on TV and drag Chucky Kirk and drag his wife. So he did what I expected him to do in that aspect. I was kind of nervous about like what he was going to say about Donald Trump, what he was going to say about Brandon Carr. I was like, he probably going to go easy on him. He didn't, because I was happy about that. I will say this, and I think that's the thing that Jimmy Kimmel, like I said, Jimmy Kimmel is a rich white man. Jimmy Kimmel is going to be okay. Even if Jimmy Kimmel show never came back to ABC, Jimmy Kimmel was going to be okay. Jimmy Kimmel would have had a new show by the end of next summer. The people that would have not been okay would have been the people who are not the millionaires. The people who, work behind the scenes. And some of the people who work behind the scenes are millionaires. But what I'm saying is like the cameraman, the the janitors, the people who come and clean the building, the people who clean the studio. Those people need their jobs. So it's kind of like Jimmy, even if Jimmy was like, girl, deuces, one, I know there's contracts involved in all of that stuff. But even if he wanted to say deuces, I think that would have been the hard thing if I was in Jimmy's shoes. Because I don't need this job. Okay? Because my money is all right. And I'm going to be all right. Best believe it. I need to come back because these people need their jobs. So I guess that's a part of like kind of putting your pride to the side and doing what's best for other people. Because Jimmy could have, like I said, I don't know what I know it's contracts involved. I know it's easier said than done. But with the suspension, I don't know if Jimmy could have just said deuces, but if there was a possibility that he could have, it's like, do I really want to do these people like that? You know what I'm saying? If there was an option for him to just not come back, would he have taken that option? And say, you know what? I'm done. Girl, I'll go start my YouTube channel. I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, shout out to Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy was looking real good. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, Jimmy Kimmel has always been cute to me. I always thought he had a nice, I'm a sucker for a smile. I always thought Jimmy Kimmel had a nice smile. But Jimmy was looking real nice last night. I said, oh, Jimmy got a fresh fade. Girl, Jimmy, girl. Yeah, it's a song by Truth Hurts. Remember the lady who sung Addicted? He's so like hold on, how the song go? Hold on, let me see how the song goes. Hold on, I forgot that fast. Listen, give me 2 seconds. Y'all ain't got nothing to do. Hold up. He's smoking. Oh, here we go. Hold up, where we go. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the one, baby. This used to be well, when I tell you, baby, this is still a banger to this day. Takes care of home. Yes. He's not alone. Okay. Yes, Truth Hurts. She got a song called Jimmy. I got a story. Listen up, listen up, listen up. Okay. I gotta tell you about this player named Jimmy. He used to be down for me. When I tell you, baby, this is a ghetto as when I tell you Truth Hurts, this is a good album. When I tell you these songs are ghetto as fuck. Bitch, when I be loving some of the most hood ghetto songs. Girl, she got a song called Jimmy. The nigga in jail, baby. She loved Jimmy. But that's how Jimmy was looking. Girl, Jimmy was looking real nice. Last night, baby. I saw a fresh fade, fresh haircut, fresh lineup, baby girl, suit pressed, fresh, crisp, white, girl, button down, girl, nice tie. I said, oh, baby, Jimmy coming back, girl. He coming back for the kids. I said, not for Jimmy, not gay. Girl. But I'm like, oh, Jimmy coming back, baby. I said, all right, Jimmy. I said, come on, Jimmy. Yes. To the Kimmel, baby. Anyways, but shout out to Jimmy Kimmel. And like I said, his monologue was good. I was like, okay, this is good. This is cute. He got emotional a few times. Yeah, it was cute. I wasn't mad at it. I wasn't expecting him to get on there and just like, you know, girl, fuck all y'all. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and move on. Oh, listen to this. So this is according to TMZ. Celeste Rivas' death, cop's eye, runaway past, troubled home life. Celeste, a 15-year-old girl found dead in the trunk of the singer David's Tesla, ran away multiple times because of trouble at home. Law enforcement tells TMZ. Baby, where's Olivia? Where's Elliot? LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division has been tracking Celeste's history, and they are trying to piece together the story of her life, according to our sources. We're told the Lake Elsinore family contacted Riverside County law enforcement at least twice to report Celeste missing. Our sources say homicide detectives believes there's a lot of evidence Celeste comes from a troubled home, and that may have triggered her desire to run away. TMZ has spoken to a liquor store owner near where Celeste's school bus picked her up, and he says there was one instance, March 19th, 2024, where Celeste's sister came to his store to review surveillance footage in an attempt to trace Celeste's steps after she ran away. As we reported, her middle school teacher told TMZ Celeste had run away back in January 2024. The teacher says police found her in the Hollywood Hills a month later and took her home. It's worth noting David lives in the Hollywood Hills. Celeste then went missing for the first time in April 2024. What's unclear is if the family called cops in Hollywood when Celeste disappeared in spring 2024 to find out where she had been staying when they found her in February. Our sources say the way Celeste was able to navigate on her own was by having multiple fake IDs in an attempt to present much older than she was. Baby, where did she get the money to get these fake IDs? How did she get access to get these fake IDs? I mean, girl, I know in 2020, 2023, 2024, we got internet, so it's not hard to figure out things. How'd she get the money to pay for the IDs? Because I know they wasn't free. Hey, David. Before police were able to identify Celeste's body, TMZ got a tip she was the victim found in David's Tesla. We contacted her mom, who told us about a red tattoo Celeste had on her right index finger. The mother added that her daughter was dating a guy named David. We passed the information on to LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division, and days later, police identified her as the victim. It's apparent police think Celeste might have been killed inside the home David was staying at because they obtained a search warrant allowing them to search for blood evidence inside their residence. We do not know what, if if anything, police discovered. The police have not revealed if they have a suspect. Baby. Because David was in there cleaning that house like he was working for Olivia Pope and Associates, baby. Hello? If y'all don't know who Olivia Pope and Associates, who they be, let me just give you a quick little rundown. You see what the girls and boys are doing on Olivia Pope and Associates? That was probably David, allegedly. Hello?
We ready?
We're good.
We sure?
We're good.
What's happening?
We're
wiping and cleaning and wiping, baby. I know he missed a spot. Let me shut up. I wasn't there. Let me shut up. Mm. Anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and move on. Prayers up for Celeste's family, even though, can I say something and y'all don't get mad at me? I'm side-eyeing. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. I'm side-eyeing the family too. Can I say something? This is the thing. I'm not a parent, and I live in the real world, and life be lifing. And the fact of the matter is, when we start to get older, right? When we start to get into that middle school, high school range, and especially if your parents got to work, my mama had to work. You know what I'm saying? Especially when your parents have to work, and that's most people. Everybody I know work. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I just believe that it's hard to just keep tabs on your kids, because if you're at work, they're at home, right? You can have cameras set up, you can have those things, but it's just hard to kind of like sometimes it is hard to just keep track of what we be doing. Because sometimes we know we were 13 and 14 and 15 before. Sometimes, baby, girl, your mama be at work and girl, you get in all types of shit. Your daddy be at work and you be getting in all types of shit. I'm saying all that to say I understand how difficult it can be. Just try to keep as much as you can an eye on your kids and who they're friends with, the circles that they run, because you just never know who they're talking to. You got a boyfriend, I need to meet him ASAP. Matter of fact, you really don't even need a fucking boyfriend if we're gonna be honest. I don't give a damn what nobody say. No, if I had kids, they would not be allowed to be in a relationship in high school or middle school. No, but you don't even know, not bitch. You don't even know yourself. And here you go, girl, puppy love, thinking that girl, this thing, and the thing is, if I know it's gonna be somebody they're gonna be like, well, I'm still with my man since high school. Congratulations, but girl, for the most part, girl, the person who you probably with in high school, you probably lost your virginity to, girl. Y'all not gonna be together forever, but you feel like you are. I just don't believe in boyfriends and girlfriends. Somebody gonna say maybe because you didn't have, if maybe because you couldn't have a boyfriend. Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe I'm just a hating ass bitch. Old bitter ass nigga. Because I ain't had no man in high school. Now I don't want nobody else to have one. Maybe so. Anyways, but yeah, this is according to the neighborhood talk. College student sues Omega Psi Phi fraternity for alleged hazing, claims during intake he was severely injured, causing him to relearn how to walk. This isn't brotherhood, it's criminal violence. Neighbors get into this. Omega Psi Phi fraternity is facing yet another controversy just 1 year after a young man passed away during an intake at Southern University, according to WJTV. A student at the University of Southern Mississippi claims he was severely injured during alleged hazing to the point where he was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. In the lawsuit, Raphael Joseph claims the alleged abuse started in December 2022 when he pledged with USM's chapter of Omega Psi Phi. During that time, he allegedly suffered severe abuse, including intimidation, denying pledges sleep and food, stealing money for the pledges, and beating them repeatedly with a 2x4 plank of wood. On April 17, 2023, Joseph claims they had to endure Hell Night, where they were allegedly physically abused all night long. Due to the alleged beatings, Joseph said he had to be admitted into the hospital, where he spent 11 days recovering. He had to have surgery, get a blood transfusion, and even had to relearn how to walk. Joseph claims he told USM about the alleged abuse, but nothing was done about it. We see violent incidents like this time again across the nation, but instead of taking action, fraternity leaders and university officials alike sweep it under the rug and write it off as boys will be boys, said attorney Bakari Sellers. This isn't youthful indiscretion. This isn't tradition, and it sure isn't brotherhood. It's criminal violence and abuse, and it needs to end. Joseph is suing both the fraternity and the university for damages. Shaking my head, hazing is never that serious. Thoughts, neighbors? Let me tell y'all something. Shout out to all the boys and girls in fraternities and sororities. I know some of you all. Shout out to all the AKAs and Deltas and Alphas and Kappas and Sigmas and Iotas and anybody I forgot. Shout out to all of y'all, right? Some of y'all low key are a gang. You just don't want to admit it. Because I hear, and just because I hear it doesn't mean that it's the truth. But I hear that sometimes when you join a gang, the gang initiation is to get your ass whooped, get your head knocked between the washer and the dryer, get stoned, beat, all types of carrying on, right? I'm trying to figure out how is that any different from what some of the boys and girls be doing down to the fraternity houses and sorority houses. The only difference is girl, people pretty much know it's happening at the school. They just turn their heads the other way because they feel like it's a part of the program. But girl, when you really break it down, y'all are pretty much a gang. Not all of y'all, but to beat somebody to death like y'all did the young man at Southern University, to punch people so hard to the point they die, to beat someone to the point where they're hospitalized and they have to relearn to walk. Bitch, that's not the same thing as you have to drive me around for a month in your car and your gas. Stuff like that, I can try to get behind, like, oh, cute, fun, whatever. You have to cook me dinner every night for a week. Okay, girl, whatever. I can't cook, so you well, I could feed myself. If you gonna eat it, either you're not. Like some things, if you want to make it fun, I get. When y'all start to put y'all hands on people, that's where you lose me. And that is the biggest reason why I never tried to pledge. Because the way we would have been in there windmilling the building down, I'm sorry, I got too much respect for myself to sit there and let a motherfucker punch me in my goddamn chest. And I hate to sound insensitive. I got too much respect for me to sit there and let y'all whoop my ass because I have to show y'all. In order for me to show y'all that I belong to the brotherhood, I have to let you beat me. Bitch, fuck you, your daddy, your granddaddy, your uncles who all pledged. Fuck your whole line.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Do I look like I give a fuck? Because I don't.
Because y'all not about to. I'm not about to sit here and get my ass whooped to show you that I deserve to be your brother. Bitch, my real brother ain't gonna punch me in my motherfucking chest. You think I'm about to let a nigga who I just met a few weeks ago punch me in my chest? And I just stand there?
Hey, you get your fucking hands off me.
Bitch, my real daddy ain't gonna slap me around. You think I'm about to let a nigga who I just met last week put me in a position to the point where now I gotta learn how to rewalk? Baby, we will tear this building, girl, to the ground, girl, all the way. Now I'm gonna get my ass whooped because it's probably 15 of y'all and one of me. But baby, I'm not getting popped. Ain't nobody popping me. We gonna pop each other. That's what's gonna end up happening. I don't even let people talk to me crazy. I don't even let people talk to me crazy. So if I don't let you talk to me crazy, you damn sure ain't gonna put your hands on me, nigga. I've been told everybody, fuck everybody in this, baby, I'm gone. Baby, whatever deposit I gave y'all, girl, you can keep it. Matter of fact, I want my money back. Get my money back. Girl, I quit. I didn't know all this shit was gonna be going on. Y'all killing people, putting people in the hospital and this shit. I thought I would have to just drive you around for about a week or two, and girl, y'all was gonna get my jacket, and I was gonna go about my business. I thought I was gonna have to cook your dinner for about a month, and girl, I was gonna go about my business. I thought I was gonna have to probably do your homework. You know what I'm saying? Babysit your child, right, girl? Give you $20 every Friday at my paycheck, girl. You was gonna get my jacket, give me my letters, girl. Give me my nickname. You know, Big Brother Motor Mouth, because he talk a lot. Okay. Come on, Big Brother Motor Mouth, girl. And I was going to go about my business. I didn't know y'all was going to put me in a hospital. I didn't know y'all was, not me, because I'm not going to be there. I didn't know y'all was putting people in the hospital and killing people. I didn't know y'all was doing that. So you can count me out and give me my deposit back. Don't you got to put down a deposit? I don't know. I think you do all push to the side. Anyway, shout out to the girls and boys who act like they got a little bit of sense in fraternities and sororities, and fuck the ones who act like they don't. And that's just on some real shit. All right, y'all. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.